The Bank of England kept UK interest rates on hold for the 73rd month. David Cameron has had a full term without a change in borrowing costs. But is now the right time for change? With me down the line to share his insights on the British economy is David Kern. David, the decision wouldn't have taken many people by surprise. The lender is apparently waiting to see if a tumble in inflation will be short-lived. But given the rate has remained unchanged since 2009, what do you make of the suggestion from some the bank didn't have the conviction to hike?
My view is that these suggestions are misguided. They are wrong. Given that inflation is zero and going into negative territory, one can say that it's rather strange that you are asking me not whether they should hike rates, but whether they should cut them. Because inflation is persistently below target, it's going to negative, so it would be more appropriate, one could argue, to ask an economist why shouldn't they be cutting rates. Now, I'm not suggesting a cut in rates. The BCC is not suggesting it. There are many problems, but given the underlying situation, I would say that the burden of proof is on those suggesting a rise in rates.
The strong pound is acting as a straitjacket on exports, leading investors to believe even record low energy prices will not be enough to generate real growth in the first quarter. Is the pound really holding us back so much?
The strong pound is undoubtedly a constraint on British export because the strong pound is particularly noticeable against the euro, and the euro remains our biggest trading area. And just this morning we have had some trade figures which show that Britain's deficit with the European Union in the last 3 months was at an all-time high. So it's a problem. In spite of the problem, I don't think now is the time to cut rates. I think now is the time of stability.
In reaction to today's trade figures, the British Chambers of Commerce urged policymakers had to do more to support exporters. To your mind, what steps should be taken?
Look, there are no magic measures here. I think what is needed is, first of all, by the politicians to put exports at the forefront of the agenda, a commitment, a political commitment. Across the spectrum. This is not a party policy issue. I think it should be as supportive by one party as the other. In fact, by all. Not only do we need to boost exports, but given the figures with the EU I mentioned today, British exporters need particular support to diversify into a faster-growing area where penetrating markets is much more difficult because Europe is nearby and places like China, the United States, India, and so on are far away. So emphasizing the importance of switching the balance of our exports is important. Not exporting more to Europe. Let me be clear. We want the European market to have as big a market share there, but we need more exports into faster growing areas.
The data feed is being overshadowed somewhat by the ongoing election campaign, now just a month away. Anyone with an interest in the UK needs to know what the business climate could look like post-election. But from your experience, how would you describe the feeling among businesses?
At one level, one mustn't be too disappointed about the situation. General elections are a normal part of democratic life, and they occur every few years, and we have to learn to live with it. But I think that what we are concerned is that general elections often encourage politicians to make populist commitments, and the approach of the election for us emphasizes the importance of a consensus. I think the UK economy would be much healthier and much more stable if business would be reassured that whether there is a continuation of the present government or a change, we will see a measure of stability, and we are not going to have surprises which unsettle confidence.
David, great to speak with you. Thank you for your time. Well, that's all from David and myself, but keep an eye on sterling and all of your favourite currency pairs by clicking back for our hourly updates. Goodbye.